Alright everyone, so today I'm going to install headers on the Honda CRX, and pretty simple process, just a lot of unbolting and bolting on and a lot of things being done in specific order. But first thing I'm going to do is take off this heat shield. So these require a 12mm socket. There are 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'll take these off. I do recommend some PB Blaster to remove these to make it easier for you. Alrighty, I've pre-loosened them just to make it quick, and now I can remove the heat shield. I just need to move this dipstick a little bit to the side, and there we go. Alright, and the next thing I'm going to do is remove the oxygen sensor. You do need, there's the oxygen sensor right there. You do need a specific socket for that, so let me just set this here. Like so, I am going to disconnect the oxygen sensor, and here is the specific socket that I'll need. Just want to make sure I have enough space. I may not have space here. Let's do this. Okay. There we go. Just like that. And again, PB blast this stuff. Make it easier. Different angle. Go. There we go. Let me just loosen this up and unscrew it. I'm going to reconnect it just so that. So I'll probably need a new oxygen sensor, but for now I'm just going to keep this, and I'm going to reconnect it to the car so that it doesn't grow legs. There we go. And I would normally loosen these guys up first, but I'm gonna loosen these guys, and there are 3 of them. There's one, and there's, you can probably see them over here. Oops, that was the oxygen sensor. There's 1, there's 2, these are big ones, and there's 3 right here. And now the trick with these guys is, again, PB Blaster, but you need a deep socket to get to these. I think these are 14mm, and let me just check. Yes, these are 14mm, and you do need a deep socket for those 14mm. And thankfully, the car's small. I can actually hug the front of the car, and I'll show you what I mean. And I can get to the bolt from underneath, so it'll be sort of like this, okay, but I'll be underneath the car. Alright guys, so I unbolted the bolts, and you can see kind of one of them stayed in here, but that's okay. But I want to show you over here, and I was underneath the car to do this. Let me just, over here, that was an additional bolt, and I just pushed it. That was a bracket probably to hold a compressor or something, and so that was another bolt that I needed to take off. That was also 14mm, and it was attached under here. Okay, so now this it can be this has been unbolted, and now this can be unbolted, ready to come off, and I will be PB blasting all of these guys. I think 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 bolts altogether. Alrighty, so I undid all of these. They're 12 millimeter. I believe there are 9 of them. And I'm going to lift this out. I already loosened those up, as you saw. And I'm going to set you over here. And we're going to lift this out. The exhaust manifold. It's nice and heavy. The other one's going to be nice and light. There you go. Alright. And then there's the downpipe, and I need to loosen it up on the other end. Alrighty, so I'm underneath here, and I'm just going to show you real quick. There is where the exhaust manifold was, and this is the downpipe right here. And these are some mounting brackets. You've got one mounting bracket here, and you've got another one up around here. The new header won't have these mounting brackets, so I'm just gonna not worry too much about it. And then here's where the downpipe attaches to the catalytic converter, so I need to loosen these. I've already loosened these guys up. As you can tell, I've already started to remove these guys. I believe it's a 12 millimeter bolt. So taking these out, and then eventually I have to do these, remove these here, and that's it. Put the downpipe, the new one in, and the exhaust manifold in, and I'm good to go. So I'm going to start removing these bolts here. I believe these are 12 millimeter as well. Alright folks, I removed these spring bolts here on either side. One side is 14, the other side is 12, just FYI. And just be very careful when you're dealing with this, because there's a lot of tension in here. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. And then this downpipe then can easily be removed. There's still a little, it's just hanging on a bolt over here, and I think that's kind of it. There we go. So I'm going to try to do this with one hand, and if I can't do it, I'm going to turn it off and then do it with both hands. Alright, yeah, I think I'm going to turn it off. Alright folks, so this is the downpipe. The new stuff comes with this piece. There are no mounting brackets like there are on this downpipe, but that's okay. So let's take a look at the new stuff. Alrighty, so here we have the new stuff. This is the new downpipe. There's that little kind of gasket washer. We have some studs and bolts that are going to connect the downpipe to the exhaust manifold. Here is the exhaust manifold. Right? Pretty simple, straightforward. I'm going to kind of reverse the process. Oh, and here are the gaskets. So here are the gaskets. Very necessary. Okay, so I'm going to reverse the process and put the exhaust manifold back on first, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, so I've got the new gasket on here. Cleaned it up just a little bit, not too much. And now I'm going to put the new exhaust manifold on. So it looks like I've got the exhaust manifold in there, and I just put on the bolts loosely. And it looks like there's plenty of clearance in here. Looks good, beautiful. And so now I need to put on the downpipe. Alrighty, so the other thing I just did was I installed the studs. See if you can see right in there. I just let's see, there's one right there, and the other one is hidden, but it's right there, and then number 3 is right there. So I just screwed them in, and now I'm going to attach the downpipe to the other end of this. Alrighty, so I decided not to attach the downpipe. Instead, I'm going to torque and tighten this first, so there's no undue pressure on the heads here, on the exhaust manifold, and then I'll attach the downpipe. So these have to be torqued in a particular sequence. You start from the center and you go in a crisscross pattern, and I believe it's 23 foot-pounds of torque. I'm going to tighten a little bit. I have a large torque wrench. That's my issue. I don't have a small, precise torque wrench, so I'm going to be very careful when I tighten these. I actually might tighten them, hand tighten, instead of using the big torque wrench, because I have a large one and I don't want to put too much pressure on these bolts. So I start from the center and I go crisscross. Alrighty, I tightened everything, and I actually ended up hand tightening it. I got a sense of what 20 foot-pounds of torque felt like, and I hand tightened everything in a crisscross pattern. We'll go from there. Incidentally, I use this little guy, this 12mm wrench. This is a Toyota motor wrench from the toolkit of a 1975 Toyota Celica, which belonged to my brother-in-law, and I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, alright, so now I put the studs in there. You can see where my finger is at, and now I'm going to put the downpipe. I'm going to attach the downpipe down there, and I believe it's a 14mm nut that goes down there, so I have to get under the car.